Hi, my name is Amy Mazzi and I'm with Centurion Boats, and today I am going to walk you through the all-new 2025 Centurion Fe25. This boat is brand new for the 2025 model year and it is fearlessly evolved. Let me tell you why. The Centurion Fe25 is a 25-foot Centurion boat. But what you'll see as far as the difference in the look of this Centurion is this wide bow. It has a pickle fork style bow, and it's got 4 different docking lights on the front of it that lights up the entire dock as well as your whole world on the water. One of the other new notable features on the Fe25 is the windshield. It looks like it was made to go with this boat, because it was, and it is branded with the moniker Fe25, and it goes perfectly with the lines of this particular boat. Speaking of the lines, this boat is ordered with a slice gel coat scheme. That means it has 3 different colors on the side of the boat, and you've got 37 gel coat choices to choose from on this Fe25. You can also see the gator step choices. You have several different gator step schemes to choose from, a 2-layer, a 3-layer. This one happens to be 3, and it's gorgeous. You have 15 different color choices on each of those non-skid gator step layers. You can make this boat look all your own. The 2025 Centurion Fe25 is also available with ram fill. And for those of you that don't know, ram fill is a ballast system offered exclusively by Centurion. It is a system in this boat that's about 2,700 pounds of water that fills in 90 seconds while the boat is underway. You add that to the rest of the available ballast on this boat, and you total 5,600 pounds of ballast. That displaces this entire hull and gets you that wave or wakeboard wake that you desire. As we move towards the back of this Fe25, and yes, we're still moving back, this boat is 25 feet long and it looks every bit of that size. But you start to understand just how big the boat is, but also how everything is as it should be. This gas fill, there's one just like it on the other side. So no matter what side your tow vehicle fills on, you're covered. And it's easy when you're getting in and out of a gas station, because again, this is a big boat and we don't want to cause any inconvenience, especially when you're filling it up. And this gas tank, that's about 89 gallons. So once you fill it up, you're going to have it full for a long time because it doesn't use a lot of fuel on the water. The other piece of that equation, the reason it is so fuel efficient, is the hull design. This has an Opti-V hull under it, and what that means is there are optimized lifting triangles on the back corners of the boat, and these help give the boat balance. They also extend pretty far forward, so they allow the boat to run level in the water. What does this give you? Less fuel consumption, because you're not riding bow high in this boat. You're not pushing water with the middle of the boat. You're cutting through the water and you're running at a very level attitude. That's what gives you the fuel efficiency, and that's what this Fe25 delivers. As we get towards the transom of the Fe25, you start to notice a bunch of stuff going on towards the back of the boat. And really, this is the power of this boat, really the surf power of the Fe25, and that is the quick surf system. So the quick surf system is a bladed system, essentially a trim tab on either corner of the boat that goes down opposite the surf side, and that causes the surf corner to displace more water and create a curl behind the boat. Now, because we use high-speed Lenco rams, you can actually switch your wave from side to side in about 2 seconds. It's that fast that the wave forms. So it takes the displacement of the hull from that 5,600 pounds of available ballast, creates a mass of water, and then engage the quick surf system, and it creates a wave either on the regular or the goofy side with a touch of the screen at the dash. It is that simple, and it is that surf stupendous. So there's a lot more going on under the Fe25 swim step than just the available quick surf. You also have the available Silent Stinger wake plate. This wake plate has 3 patents on it. And I think that's what makes it so cool, is the way that it is designed and the fact that it does what we designed it to do. So it actually dampens the noise of the engine. And the way that it does that is it forces water through the plate when you're underway, and that water tumbles with the exhaust of the engine through a series of baffles, and it dampens the noise of the engine. So much so that when you're sitting at the passenger seat or the driver's seat, it's very difficult to even understand that the engine is on unless you're underway. It really makes the interior of the boat very, very quiet, and it keeps you from getting irritated with a whole boatload of people screaming when you're on the water for hours at a time. It is one of the best options you can get on a Centurion, and that's what this Fe25 has. Once I get up onto the swim stuff of the Fe25, you start to realize, wow, this is a big boat. I'm way up here. But the cool thing is it's really easy to get up onto this swim step. It has a natural rocker built into it, so it kind of trails off towards the rear edge of the swim step, which allows me to roll up onto it pretty easy. But I have some handles to grab onto. I have some security to pull myself up. But once you're up on the swim step, you start to realize that there's some style to this thing. I've got some gator step here. That's the Fearless cut. It's 3 different layers. It looks really intricate and cool as far as the design, but also just the shape of the swim step. It's beautiful. And I've got lots of storage. I can put my shoes away without having to bring them on the outside or on the inside of the boat. And then I can have a seat, and it's pretty comfy. And I've got cup holders next to me. I got stereo controls on the other side. I can pretty much rock out, do whatever I want to do, have a drink, and look good doing it. So hanging out on the back of the Fe25, I have lots of options for my lounging pleasure, which include this lean back. So I can sit back, relax, hang out, be comfortable. You can also notice there's a rear-facing camera back here, in addition to a walkover that keeps me from walking on my cushions to get in the boat. You've got everything: style, function, and now with me back here, beauty. As you walk down into the Fe25, once again, this feels like a 25-foot boat. This thing is almost like a stretch limo. It's rated for 16 people, and when you step into it and sit down for the first time, you can definitely see 15 of your closest friends being here, and we wouldn't be touching. This boat is huge. It has accommodation for all of those people, and in luxury and comfort. This is an amazing looking interior, but it's just as comfortable. The Fe25 has a simpler looking interior as far as there is a main, a base, an accent, and a welt that you can choose, and 16 different vinyl colors you can choose for each area. But it's elegant in design. It's no more than it needs to be. It's not overcomplicated. However, it is extremely strong. So not only do we have spraddling vinyl, our Comfort Strong vinyl with a 17 mil top coat that adds to the cleanability of this interior, as well as the increased look and sheen, that total style that is only Centurion. You also have thread that is a Teflon thread that allows the interior to not only be stitched together, but it also holds up against extreme conditions and cleaners. You name it, this thread can handle it. It also goes together in a way that is extremely strong in application. So there are areas of this boat where you have French seams holding together 2 pieces of vinyl. What that means is it's sewn 3 times. Those are typically high stress areas. You also have half stitches, which are sewn twice. That holds the vinyl together, and I would say a little bit less of a stressful area. But you will be hard pressed in a Centurion boat to find an area where there is a single stitch holding together 2 pieces of vinyl, because that's not as strong. These interiors, especially the Fe25, are built to last. So the floor in the Fe25 also allows for another layer of customization. You can get a 2-layer Fearless cut as far as the design of the floor goes, a 3-layer, which is what we have in this particular Fe25, or you can get a 3-layer Salute to Service cut or a 3-layer Warrior cut. You've got lots of different options, and on each of those layers you have 15 different colors of gator step to choose from. This boat is made to be as customizable as it is comfortable. So not only is the interior beautiful and strong, it's also extremely accommodating. You've got cup holders everywhere. I've got wet sound spilling into the interior from here, from these 8-inch wet sound speakers. I also have a PowerPoint I can use here if I need to charge my phone. I also have storage availability. So there's storage underneath every one of these seats in the lounge. And I have the opportunity for a rear-facing vantage point if I want. So I can turn around and see the rider in tow. The Fe25 also has very versatile seating available. This slide seat is available as an option in the Fe25, and it is a 4-position slide seat. What does that mean? It means it's got one position that makes the whole boat a lounge, kind of a U-shape. Then I can move it up one more position, another, and then another that's closest to the helm, so I can kind of have a mini lounge up there between the OB seat and the driver's seat. I've also got lean backs that are available for this seat, so I can plug them in either rear facing or forward facing. There's also an optional table, you name it, with this particular slide seat. Oh, and I forgot to mention one of the coolest parts. The slide seat comes with limo lighting mounted underneath the rail, so it will actually light up the floor of your boat if you get this option like a limo. The Battle Advance Tower by Roswell comes standard on the Fe25 from Centurion. And this tower looks like it goes with the boat because it was made to go with the boat. It's got a great style to it, but it also has amazing functionality. I can put this tower down by myself, even with these optional speakers, racks, and bimini on it. It's very easy to do. And I can customize the look of this tower. So I can get these tower shields customized so that they match the exterior gel coat of my boat. Or if I want to do a completely different one of our 37 gel coat colors, I can. I can also get the tower in white or black. And then I can add a different stereo system if I'd like. This particular tower has the Hero stereo system by Wet Sounds on it, which is an amazing system. I have 10-inch horns on the tower. I've got 8-inch speakers throughout the interior, 8 of them, and it rocks. I've also got a subwoofer under the OB seat, so this really, really bumps. But I can go with the Champ stereo system if I wanted a few less speakers on the tower. It's totally up to me. I can also customize my board racks. I can choose between 3 different styles of board racks. I can go with the mag swivel rack, the Bombshell 1.0s like I have on this particular tower, or I can upgrade to the Bombshell 2.0s. These racks have different looks and different functionality, but they all will hold a surfboard or a wakeboard in style. I also have the option of a bimini, so I can get a Roswell bimini on this tower, or I can opt for this So Long bimini. It's SEW long, but it is so long. It covers most of the interior of this boat. And new for 2025 model year, I can get a surf shade extension that goes 5 to 8 feet further on this boat, so I could really shade all the way to the swim step while I'm surfing or hanging out in this boat if I wanted to. So the Fe25, we call it fearlessly evolved. What does that mean? Well, it does what it needs to do well. It's an extremely purpose-built boat. It is made to surf and wakeboard and have a great rough water ride. But it's not only the person behind the boat that gets the benefit of the Centurion Fe25. The driver also gets a lot of accommodation. New for this year, you've got a standard Cobra racing seat. This seat is extremely comfortable, it's high-backed, it's supportive, but it gives you the opportunity to also throw a leg over, turn around, you know, be able to see your rider, participate with the conversation in the lounge, or just simply swivel. and be available and a part of this conversation. But you can also turn right back around and have all kinds of comfort just because of this new driver's seat. So this boat has the stereo face mounted right on the dash, and it's got a volume knob, so it's extremely easy to control at the drop of a hat. In just a second, I can turn that music down and talk to my fallen rider, or I can turn the music down and tell everybody in the boat, hey, quiet down. You know, that's the driver's job. But I've also got access to my stinger plate position, and in this particular boat, it's a silent stinger, and I can change the running attitude of the boat by adjusting the stinger wake plate. I can also change the shape of the wake or the wave by adjusting that with these quick paddles right here. I can just take a couple fingers and pull it towards me, and I can adjust it up and down without having to look at it or lose sight of the horizon or the water in front of me. I can adjust my cruise speed on the right side using these paddle shifters as well. So we've thought of everything because we drive these boats for hours on end with our families as well. I've also got a wireless charging clamping cell phone holder here that holds my phone and allows me to have visibility of it at all times if need be. I also have this great Evo screen, which is a touch screen. It allows me to seamlessly file through menus that will give me control over every system in this boat. It's very easy to use. It's a lowbrow dash, so I don't have to stand up or sit on my feet to see over it. And this boat rides bow low, so I don't have a lot of bow rise in this boat in general. So I can always see the water in front of me and have access to all of this functionality. The other thing you have access to as the driver, or really anyone else in the boat, is this in-floor ice chest. It is not only easily accessible, I don't have to have anyone get up in order for me to access it, but it is an ice chest that drains into the bilge. It is insulated and gives you a place for cold drinks or your next snack that is not held hostage by somebody sitting on top of it. But you could also use the ice chest for dry storage. You could store towels, life vests in there, whatever you need access to at any time without having to tell somebody to get up. We talk about the benefit that the driver's area or the helm gives to the driver, in addition to the performance that the rider gets behind the boat. But really, the observer or this passenger here also gets a lot of accommodation in the Fe25. Not only do you have 3 cup holders accessible to the observer, you have storage, and very cavernous storage at that. You have a trash can with this little handy walk-through chute, and probably best of all, I have access to my battery management system. Your battery management is all right here, readily accessible in the glove box. And I can truly isolate my batteries with this system. For instance, if I was in a cove hanging out and we wanted to listen to the stereo, I could just turn on my house battery, be able to rock out, everybody swim, hang out, have fun. And then when we're ready to head back to the dock, I can turn on my engine battery, which will allow the engine to fire up and us to get home safely and without any worry. You also have access to all of your PDMs, and those breaker panels allow you to kind of troubleshoot if you have an issue with your boat. All of this functionality is at the observer's fingertips. If there weren't enough seats in the Fe25, remember it houses as many as 16 people. There's more in the bow. And this is a true walk-through bow. What does that mean? It means I can walk through to the bow, but I don't have to be facing sideways to make it through. It's not a narrow walkway. This gives me the ability to walk through truly to the bow, take a comfortable seat, and just chill. And just like a lot of the other seats in the Fe25, I have access to cup holders, speakers, grab handles, power points, as well as a comfortable seat to sit on. And this particular Fe25 also has the optional bow filler cushion, which makes this whole bow a playpen. And me and probably one other person could hang out up here all day and have a great smooth ride. Because as we all know, with the Deep V, Centurion has an amazing rough water ride, even in the bow. Thank you for joining me for this walkthrough on the all-new Fe25. This boat is everything you want in a surf boat, and it is purpose-built, and it's going to give you that performance that you're looking for. But don't take my word for it. Visit your local Centurion Boats dealer and let us prove it to you on the water today.